Hello boys and welcome to the first ever video on the Cookem Cards YouTube channel. Today we're going to be going over the top 5 tips for new sports cards, investors, and collectors. So let's go ahead and hop into the video. Tip number 1 I have for you guys is to have a focus. This can definitely be overlooked when you are just getting into the hobby, maybe just starting to get interested in sports cards, or maybe you want to make some money, you want to invest, or you're just a collector and you just love the cards or love the players. You can really get lost. There's a lot of stuff. There's not a ton of educational sources out there to kind of learn and get your feet wet in the hobby. So this really leads to a lot of confusion in the hobby, and I think a lot of people are getting into sports cards and they just have absolutely no clue where to go. So to go deeper into tip number 1, having a focus, what does that mean? For me, that means to know kind of where you're going, know what your long-term goal is. The first thing you need to do is figure out, what type of investor or collector you are. Say maybe you love basketball, like me. I'm a huge basketball fan, played basketball most of my life. I have started out in the hobby only looking at basketball cards, and the only purchases I was making was raw cards, and then I have sent them off to PSA to be graded, and then we'll sell those cards when they come back to me graded. That is my strategy. That is my focus. That doesn't have to be everyone's focus. I think that's a good place to start if you're new to the hobby overall. I think that's a great place to start. There's a lot of things you got to watch out for, but there are also other focuses. You could simply be just collecting, and you could try to get all of the parallels and all the different sets of maybe your favorite player. Or you could be trying to maybe move towards opening a card shop. Maybe you found a new passion and you want to really make money off of it and take advantage off of this passion. You can buy sealed boxes. You could go start doing breaks. There's so many different areas in the hobby itself. I think the number 1 tip for someone who's new to the hobby is to just know where you stand and just make sure you have a focus. So tip number 2 is to do your own research. You see a lot of people on social media, posting these cards saying, hey, I'm buying this card. I think it's going to go up. I think this player is going to do well. I think this is the time to buy this card. And all that's great. And, you need to be following, some people who are in the hobby and who are in the market and know what they're doing. That's a great way to learn. But don't just blindly follow whatever your favorite, card person says. Go ahead and take that extra step and start doing your own research. So you may be wondering, how do I do my own research with cards? There are a few ways. I think the maybe beginner way would be to look on eBay. So let's flip on over here to eBay. So you see I've got my eBay up, logged in and everything. So how do I go about doing my own research? You can see I've been looking at these Kobe Bryant rookie cards. Been looking at a lot of different stuff here. But we'll say we want a Luka Doncic base prism rookie card. We'll say that's what we're going after. We'll say we want a PSA 10 just for fun. So you get here, you search for your card, you see all this. And you can really just get lost. You see 1900, you see 2600, you see 1800, 1700, 1000. You just see all these different prices, and you're just sitting there thinking, what? Let me clean up some of the YouTube artwork down there. You're thinking, what in the world? What should I pay for this card? So the number 1 tip for doing your market research is scrolling down here to sold items in on eBay after you've done a search. Go ahead and click that, and that will bring up the recently sold items for what you have searched for. So we're looking at these Luka Doncic base prism rookies PSA 10. So we see on January 16th one sold for $1,600 on a bid. So obviously that's a very fair price. It was a bid. PSA 10, so it's authentic. We're not worried about that. January 14th we have one that went for $1,725. and that was purchased straight up. When it has a line through it, that means the best offer was accepted, so it is below this listing price. So you can see that one was way down. That is because it's not in a PSA slab, it's ungraded. So that just kind of got thrown in here because of search. But moving down, 1700, buy it now. So it's looking like 1700 is a very fair price to purchase this car. There's another one for 1700. So yeah, look on eBay again, go down to sold items, click that, and just scroll down. Make sure you pay attention to the dates when the cards were sold, and make sure you pay attention if the line is crossed through it. That means a best offer has been accepted. So obviously that card maybe struggled to sell, or the seller maybe just needed some extra cash and just gave it up for a little cheaper. But that's something to watch out for. The second way to do some card market research is this wonderful website app. They're on social media as well. Card Ladder. I actually have a subscription. So you see I can go dark mode here. That's pretty cool. Let's switch over to dark mode. It looks a lot better. And this just gives you basically a stock market analysis of the entire sports card market. It tracks only eBay sales currently. I think they added a few private sales with the Mickey Mantle going for like 52 million. I think that was added. Sorry, 5 million. Whatever it was, but yeah, but Card Ladder is a great place to start. So you get on Card Ladder, where do you go from here? This is your dashboard, so it's gonna kind of have maybe some eBay items you might be interested in that are ending soon. Maybe you find some deals. There's some Kobe's. I was looking at earlier. Shies, and we've got the top climbers, the biggest followers, and the top 90-day investments. So they have an algorithm for calculating these investments. I haven't really paid attention to this category, so I couldn't really tell you if it's a great thing to follow or not. But anyway, so keep going. We were looking for this Luka Doncic card, right? So we wanted a PSA 10, yeah. So that's our first option here. So we're gonna pull this up, search his name, click it, and this is all free. You don't have to pay for this. I do believe you won't get an all-time sales date. I think you'll get maybe 3 months of data. But just for the purposes of this video, let's look at the all-time data. So, we can see this chart and kind of follow Luka Doncic and where he has been selling. We can get dates down here. And so this will help us do some market research and kind of give us an idea of when we possibly might want to buy and when we possibly might want to sell. So as far as doing your own research, eBay, the eBay sold tab, and Card Ladder are two of the best options you will have. Okay, tip number 3. This is a really weird tip, but I wanted to include this because, I was sitting here making this video and I thought, well, should that even be included? But then I look back on the purchases and the sales that I've made or have failed to make. And I've noticed a pattern. A lot of these cards that I bought for $5-10 thinking, oh, I got this cheap steal. I can't sell the card. I don't really want the card. It's just kind of sitting there. That's why I called it a filler card. It's just filling up space. And I think, a lot of people, when they're new to the hobby, they don't have as big of a bankroll, as much money to just splash on a Michael Jordan rookie card or a Doncic rookie card. They've got to try to find some cheaper cards. And I think that is the wrong approach. And, let me tell you why. Say you have $100. Most people who are entering this hobby have $100 to spend on a card. If you go out and buy 5 cards for, we'll say $20, there's your $100 spent. So you've got these 5 cards. We'll say those cards are, maybe some rookies that are good, not great. They have a chance, and they don't pan out. You're stuck with those cards. You have these little, sales or maybe eBay bids, and you find, these deals that you think you're getting these steals for these $2 cards or these $8 cards. It's just not worth it. You won't be able to move them. And the reason that they're so cheap is because other people haven't been able to move those cards. So if you are purely wanting to make money and wanting to turn this into an investment vehicle or a business, do not waste your time and waste your money, buying these cheap little cards of these sets who just aren't popular and these players that aren't popular. It's just not worth it. The one exception to this rule is if you have a personal collection of maybe, someone who's not a big name and a lot of his cards are cheap, then obviously, yeah, if you're collecting the cards, go ahead and grab them for cheap. That makes sense. But if you're investing and trying to flip these cards and trying to make money off these cards, it just in my recent experience, I have not found it successful whatsoever, buying these cheap cards and being able to sell them. They just really sit in your card storage, whatever that is. They just sit there and take up space. So I would stay away from that, and I would try to save my money and work towards bigger cards, more high valued, high profile cards. So moving on to tip number 4, take proper care of your cards. This is a huge one, guys. This again may be silly to someone who has been in cards for a while and is watching this video. This may seem silly, but to tell you the truth, man, I have seen some scary, just really silly stuff, buying off eBay. I've seen some crazy stuff on Instagram. There are some people out here that just have no clue what they're doing, and they see the money in the market and they want to join, they want to make money, but they don't take the time to do their research and they don't take the time to understand, what's going on. I've had people ship me cards in envelopes, and high value cards. I've just had a lot of stuff that I'm just sitting there and I'm thinking, who is the person behind the screen? Who is doing this? So don't be that guy. Take care of your cards, and I'm gonna give you a couple, couple basic ways to take care of your cards. So the first thing you need to do when you're taking care of your cards is, if you have a raw card, which means just the card, nothing else, no protection, put it in a card sleeve. These are often called penny sleeves, card sleeves, same thing. Just a small little protective layer for the card. This is nothing major, they're obviously very cheap, only $6 for a pack of 100, I believe. Yeah, 100 sleeves, $6. Super inexpensive, but this is the first thing you want to do when you purchase a card or get a card from a pack. You want to put it in a card sleeve. The next step is to then put that card sleeve into what's called a top loader. Here's an example of a 25 pack of top loaders. These are a tad more expensive, $10 for 25, but these are a little bit more heavy duty and they will really protect the card. But you want to make sure you have your raw card in a penny sleeve or card sleeve before you put it in the top loader. So once you've got the card in the penny sleeve and then in the top loader, the third thing you want to do is put that top loader in what's called a team bag. These are just called one-touch resealable bags. Again, same thing. It's just an extra layer of protection for the card, and it also keeps the top loader in a little bit better condition, which will kind of help you take better pictures and that sort of thing. You can see I actually purchased these team bags a few days before Christmas. I needed to re-up on some supplies, so you can see I've obviously purchased these. So again, taking care of your cards. Step 1, card sleeve. Step 2, top loader. Step 3, team bag or resealable bag. If you do those 3 things, I really think you will be ahead of the pack as far as taking care of your cards. And as far as shipping your cards, I know that's another big question people have. I'm not going to personally go into shipping your cards this video. If you are confused by that or would like to learn more about shipping your cards, check this video out. I'll leave the link in the description. This is a guy by the name of Mikey B Cards, and this is actually how I learned to ship my cards and the method that I use. It's by far the cheapest way and the safest and just overall most efficient way to ship cards. So yeah, shout out to Mikey B. I will leave this video linked in the description. If you are interested in learning how to ship cards, go check this video out. So moving on to tip number 5, the 5th and final tip I have for you guys. and that is the best places to buy and sell cards. So you've done your research, you know what you want to get, you've picked out a card you want to purchase, where do you go to buy this card? And the best place, or the maybe I should say most accessible place, is obviously eBay. Again, we're back at eBay. We were looking at these Luka Doncic cards. Say you wanted to buy a raw card here off eBay and you're planning on getting it graded. So this is the best place to buy and sell cards. Maybe not the best, but the most frequently used. And I want to give you a few tips for buying off eBay here. So I'm looking at this card. The first thing I notice is, and this goes back to step number 4, he's not protecting his cards. He doesn't have them in a card sleeve, doesn't have them in a top loader. He has this card stand here, so he obviously kind of has some idea of what's going on, but and some people do this to take pictures. I just don't agree with that. I think you keep it in a fresh sleeve and a fresh top loader and take your pictures there just to make sure you're keeping it safe. I mean, this is a $700,000 card. If he knocks it over after this picture and it gets a scratch on the surface, or one of the edges gets roughed up, I mean that greatly hurts his profit. That greatly hurts what you're receiving. So look out for that. And another huge tip is look at the seller's feedback. This guy's 94.8 positive feedback, and you're thinking, wow, that's impressive. That's not the best. You want around 100 or maybe 99. See, he does have a few negative reviews here. Paid immediately and seller canceled order without communication. So you can see here he cancels orders. So he has no issues sending the cards out, or maybe the quality of the cards, but it looks like if he sells a card and he's not happy with the price, that he's just going to cancel. So yeah, that's not a huge deal, but again, pay attention to who you're buying from on eBay, and also as far as selling on eBay, you are going to get killed, absolutely killed with fees. I believe they take 11% currently on most items. So that's tough when you're selling cards on eBay and you don't have a lot of money, and you don't want all your profits going to fees. So just keep that in mind. So besides from eBay, where else can you look to buy cards? My personal favorite is COMC. A great website. They it's sort of like an Amazon for cards. They have their own storage, and they take cards on consignment, so they sell cards for other people. And then they also have their cards, which are stored and shipped. I mean, and you can just look at here and you can see how just in depth this goes. So we're looking at a Ja Morant Panini Donruss Optic rated rookie here, and so say you wanted to buy this card, and you're following the video, you go on COMC. What do you want to look for here? So the first thing we're looking at is these are all raw cards. So these are not graded yet. These are all raw. And yeah, they're all raw cards, not graded. So say this is what you wanted to go. This is the route you wanted to take. You'd go in here and you'd find, a price you're comfortable with. It shows the seller at the bottom. It also will show maybe notes on condition right here. None of these have it, but most cards will. Say you wanted a PSA 10. You didn't want to mess with PSA. You didn't want to get it graded. You really believed in this card. Just go over to this category and click what you want. So this is an awesome place to buy cards. Selling's a bit more difficult. You have to ship your cards to them. It takes a little bit longer than say selling on eBay, but it could be worth it if you have a higher value card and don't want to get killed with fees. It might be worth it to maybe sell on consignment like this. As far as buying, the only thing to look out for buying from here, you're going to get a lot better condition from eBay, because most of these people know what they're doing, if not all, who are on here. But one of the things to look out for is, they mentioned above, the shipping times are really delayed right now because of Corona. And I've seen on their Instagram, they're actually hiring people right now. I'm sure they're really backed up, as is PSA and most card companies. But yeah, just keep that in mind. If you think you're gonna get the card in that same week, you're probably not going to right now. Maybe if you're watching this video in 2 months, and they're fully staffed, it might be back to normal. But just keep an eye on the shipping times. Depending on what cards you're going after, it might take a while to get shipped. So other than COMC, what's another place we can look at? This is PWCC Marketplace. This is a very, very high-end marketplace. If you're new to the hobby, you're probably not going to be doing a lot of purchasing here, selling here. Obviously, these cards are very, very expensive. But it's good to gauge the market, and it's good to keep an eye on websites like these. They also sell on eBay, which are some of the auctions here on eBay. It's good to keep an eye and see where the market's moving towards. You see a lot of Pokemon on here, which maybe if you're into sports cards, you don't know anything about Pokemon. Maybe you get interested in those and check those out. But you see some of these awesome Jordan cards, see some baseball cards, Doncic, Manning, even a wrestling card. Just some super cool stuff, and just another place that you guys can kind of maybe buy and sell. They have a marketplace, they have Vault, they have a lot of different things to offer. So I just wanted to bring this to your attention as well. But yeah, I think the best place for beginners is going to be eBay, just because it's easiest to navigate. Once you're comfortable with purchasing cards, I would really consider purchasing most of your cards on COMC. I think you're going to have a lot higher quality, and more cards come back that are gem and near gem. That does it for the video. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope you learned something from it. If you did, drop a comment down below, maybe one thing you learned, or maybe a question you have after watching this video, or just about cards in general. If you have any questions, just drop them below in the comments, and I'll make sure to answer them. Please make sure to smack that subscribe button and drop a like. It really helps out the channel, and I will see you guys soon.